nhớ rồi trong nhà gì cái tên là già nó nói giờ lưu gì liên tục nó tiền năng của chi trong ốp hành năng của của giờ bỏ đi va lúc sau đó nhớ đầu tỏ Stephen cú bỏ tao lại hạt tiền nó nói giờ in nó chỉ sinh trong hành đi cho Latino là giờ cho Mexico nhớ đầu họ lúc sinh Minnesota nó là cứ tàu chạp in lúc event nhớ đầu tỏ Stephen cho nó nói họ chỉ sinh ra là tàu chờ mấy lâu xong tàu tàu một cục đầu lúc event nóแล้วลูกหอบเพี้ยนเลยจะ Latino เลยจะ Mexico นู่นน่ะจะเลยซา Endorsement ไม่ล่อช่องหมู่โจเกสใส่จ่าโจตู Congress เนี่ยโจเขาชิงจับเปล่า The Sun Minnesota น่ะคนนั้นเลยต่อกูจะเป็นผู้ชายเลยให้ลูกเอาเป็นหล่อเที่ยตอกก้านเด้อแล้วเขาใช้ไม่เขาอยู่ให้โจจะเนี่ยสิกินนึงจ่าเสด็จเป้าเขาจะนึกเขาเกสใส่จ่าโจน่ะที่จะตรงนี้จ้ะ
Keep our families together, and we need to maintain that opportunity to be entrepreneurial. We have the tendency to be entrepreneurial, and we didn't stand up. Guys like Cepeda and myself stand up, and I've got some shipmates out there, right? Raise your hand if you're a Navy vet. We didn't stand up and raise this right hand and give that oath so somebody could take that away from us. Love this. Okay, we love being a part of this. We love being able to stand up and being able to back somebody up like Maylor, who I grew up on the west side of St. Paul. I went to school at Humboldt, and it was very diverse. I have some of my best friends growing up. We're Hmong, we're Vietnamese, we're Mexican, we're Honduran, things like that. So this is a place that I feel very good at. So when it comes to talking about who represents me, it's super important that we back folks like Maylor who share a lot of those same values. Entrepreneurial spirit, family values. And you know, this being cool sign is my favorite sign so far. It's cool to be a Republican. And speaking of cool, how lucky are we to be able to have a warrior, not for a couple of years, not somebody that just showed up, but somebody is at a first for many of these things, gets us access not just to the Capitol here in St. Paul, but to the capital of the United States. Somebody as cool as my good friend, Rick Aguilar. Rick Aguilar.
Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And, years ago when we formed this Latino group, it was 2004. And Tim Pawlenty was governor, and I'm going to call him right now. He's going to come and talk to you, so watch out, Stevie. He's sitting out, he's selling hot dogs across the street. Be cool. And at that time, we were holding the Republican convention in New York City, and I wanted to go. I was new to the party, but through the help of Norm Coleman, Tim Pawlenty and others, I became the first Latino in Minnesota history to be a Republican delegate at the convention. It was a great honor, ladies and gentlemen. We had a hell of a time. And then we went and recruited this talent like Mariah and Isaac. And you know what? He's right. You know, when you're putting your foot out there when you say you're Republican. I mean, some of my business mentors say, Rick, you never want to mix politics with business. It's a bad recipe. I never listen to them. I am a Republican, and I'm active. Active all the time, ladies and gentlemen, because we have to win one of the most important elections in our history. And so we all here on the stage, and all of you, I'm sure, are so proud to endorse, and I want to introduce our next congressional woman from CD4, Maylor.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you so much for your endorsement. This means so much to me. It's interesting what you said that you went to Humboldt High School. I started my career in St. Paul Public Schools at Humboldt. So I won't tell you, I won't ask you what year you graduated. But I started as an interpreter for the ESL department. And I worked at Humboldt Junior High and High School in 1998. And I know in that, the high school and the junior high, I worked with a lot of the Latino students there. So they had a very, very strong Latino community in the West Side St. Paul. And so for many years, I worked at Humboldt Junior High. I walked down West Side St. Paul where all the small business, the deli, restaurants, you name it, I've been there. But I want to say thank you so much. As an immigrant and a refugee, coming here, my parents fled communism from Laos, to have an opportunity to go to school and to pursue my American dream and to give back to the country and to the community, I became a teacher. I taught English to immigrant students so they could have their own shot at their American dream. And I did that proudly for 20 years. Two years ago, when all the rioters came to St. Paul and burned down and destroyed businesses in the University Avenue, I was there with the business owners. I see how heartbroken they are. And I did not see any elected official there to comfort them. I picked up the broom and helped them sweep. I did not see Betty McCollum there. In fact, her party was the party that helped destroy those businesses. My daughter at that time was 16 years old, working as a cashier at Cub Foods. I dropped her off at Cub Food. 30 minutes later, she called me. Mom, come back and get me. They said rioters are coming to destroy the store, so they're gonna shut down the store, they're gonna board it up. Luckily, I live close to Cub Foods, so I rushed back to pick her up. That was a very scary moment as a mother for me. So I decided that, you know, we don't have anybody there to help us, to protect us. And I have to stand up to protect City 4. That is why I'm running for Congress today. I walked up and down University Avenue and talked to small business owners. I walked on Payne Avenue and Arcade Street, some of the roughest streets in St. Paul, and talked to small business owners there. And most of these areas are minority-owned business, the Latino businesses, and the Hmong and the Karen businesses. And also we have the black and the white businesses there. They're struggling because there's a lot of crime in that area. Every single business that I've talked to, business owner that I've talked to, their business has been destroyed or vandalized or robbed. And that is not okay. Small business are the business that are the backbone. They're paying taxes. They're keeping this country going. And we must protect them. And Betty McCollum is not doing anything. Tim Laws is not doing anything. None of the elected officials in St. Paul are not doing anything to help these small business owners. Someone has to stand up to help them. Especially right now with the crime that are skyrocketing in our district. Most of them are youth. They're underage. I had the privilege to do a ride-along with a police officer in St. Paul. It's a Wednesday afternoon. It should be peaceful. But right within an hour, there was a shooting. The stolen cars, criminals shooting at each other. It became a homicide. That is not okay because those are the streets that we have children and women living there, playing outside. So we have to protect we have to make sure that we support our law enforcement, and we need government that will back them up too. Two years ago, when they shut down our schools, guess who they're destroying their education? The student who can't speak English. The second language learners. I know that because those are my students. They don't have parents that can speak the language. Sometimes it's hard for them to navigate the iPad to help them get online, to help them do their homework. I personally went from home to home, whether it be Spanish speaking, Korean speaking or Hmong speaking, they're my students. I want to make sure that they get online so they can learn, at least, learn English, so that way they can keep going. I went to their house to make sure that they can navigate their iPad. They know what to do. And right now, over 50% of our kids are not read on grade level. The governor here failed our students, our student of color, our students, ESL students. So we need to make sure that we focus on their education. We cannot do lockdown anymore. Because when we do that, and our kids, when they grow up, they're incompetent at getting a job, incarceration will go up, our taxes will go up. And we need to make sure that we protect our children. They're going to be our future. We need strong leadership in the future when we retire, I hope. But I have the opportunity to meet so many voters in District 4. And I spoke to many, many voters. And they're sick and tired of the crime and the inflation that's impacting all families in District 4. And actually, all families all across America. So we need a leader that will listen, that will understand what the people need. Obviously, Betty McCollum doesn't understand what her constituents need. When she's here, she's worrying about the boundary waters, which we all worry, but we have more pressing issues in District 4, like the water contamination in Woodbury, or the Bruce Ventil Trail, a beautiful trail in Maplewood that the Met Council wants to tear off and put a bus line there. Families and elders use that trail to exercise so that way they can stay healthy, they can enjoy the outdoor. But I'm here today to tell you, I'm all about the people. I've been a public servant all my life. And when I'm in Congress, my only interest is serving the people in District 4 and serving and passing policies for the people in America. I came from a communist, my parents came from a communist country. I came from a refugee camp where I didn't have an opportunity. America has given me the opportunity. And I will tell you, I will protect that American freedom and American dreams for all of us. Thank you.
My name is Rick Aguilar. I'm chair of the Hispanic Republican Assembly of Minnesota. We're an organization that proudly represents the Republican Party and our values. Today at the State Fair, we had the honor of endorsing for Congress Mayor Jean, and she's out of District 4. And I want to tell you in the community what a great candidate she is, what a great opportunity it will be for the Hmong, not only the Hmong community, but the general community in St. Paul, Minnesota, and Ramsey County to be represented by Maylor. She has the experience, she has the passion, she has the love of America, and she has your concerns at heart, your concerns at heart. So today we endorsed her, and it's important that Latinos and Hmong work together. We share the same values. We love America. We work hard. We want our families to get a good education. We want our families to be safe. And we want to enjoy living in the greatest country in the world. So we feel that Maylor represents the best of the best. And so we endorsed her today, and we're looking forward to her winning in November. And when she does, St. Paul will be receiving and be represented by one of the great congresswomen in the history of the Minnesota. Thank you very much.
I think the endorsement of the Hispanic community is it's a great thing for us. Talking to a lot of members of that community, what we've heard from them, Scott and I, is that they want to be safe. They want great schools. They want to have choice when it comes to education for their kids, and they want economic opportunity. And traditionally, I think a lot of people would say that the Latino community hasn't been aligned with the Republican Party. But those days are in the past. And where the Republican Party is today, I think that it makes sense that more Latinos come into our party, because from a value standpoint, we are aligned. And we're aligned around this idea of freedom. Freedom to celebrate our faith, freedom to work, freedom to become educated. And again, if we're not safe, we're not free. And so I think it's a great day, not just for Scott Jensen and myself and our campaign, but for the GOP party in Minnesota to receive the Hispanic endorsement.
Hi, I'm Dr. Scott Jensen, and I'm running to be the next governor of Minnesota. I am thrilled that today, May Larjong was endorsed by the Mexican community. May has a tremendous ability to listen, learn, and find solutions. Having May Larjong in Congress will be good for all of Minnesota. I'm thrilled that she received the Mexican endorsement. Thank you.
OK 美容些出来话，侬那个报道的，叫 Mexican 那个我个称啊个那么样endorsement 个啥的样侬那。
OK。哦了。OK， 我讲到呀，侬那个侬种型。係啲กูจะไปจ่อพงยู make community นั่นนี่เจ้ากูเราตัวสังกัดกูเที่ยวเรา endorse กูยังลิงเดินกูว่าเรากูจงเช็คกูยิ่งว่าเขาหลุดท่อจะ make community นั่นเส้นเสาอีเสียจะปัวจะยี่เลยกูว่าซื้อฟื้นแข่งเดินเที่ยวชายลูเจ้าขอเสา department เจ้ากูยิ่งสังกัดจะมีตัวมีหนัวไม่เนาะ so แต่ชิโน่ยเขาเดียแล้วตัวสังกัดกูลินนอนเนื้อเขาเกจงเช็คเรากูเห็น
不为呀哩，那个不要这个 supply 的，我里还能做的孬了，กู把车个的，侬那个กู都还一直路车些着，还能孬了报道的，没有洗着的，没有路那边变成只路，一还能是路都说还能让到好孬，对呀头来就中的孬了报道的个，有一度我个看的有了多，有我多之后了，然后他只清只包了呢，这เขาก็啥是เขา本事是个啥的呀
？OK。เดี๋ยวกูจะเก็บหนังสือกูยิ่งสาเดี๋ยวกูชี้ชอบกันเก่าเลยกูยิ่งป้อเดี๋ยวเลยยิ่งปอเดี๋ยวกูเนี่ยนู้มุนชอบไปสังท่าเนี่ยนู้มุนเราเดี๋ยวไปสังสาตัวรัชชีที่เราจอดเนี่ยลิจ่าวิให้เดี๋ยวตัวว่ากูช่างจะชี้น้องนะนึกถึงชีตัวจงนึกถึงชีมุนชอบไปสังท่าไปนึกถึงชีป้อเดี๋ยวไปสังจอดเนี่ยลิจ่าไปสังสาตัวเก็บป้าลิจ่าย่อเจ้ากูอยากตีตัวแคนาดาว่ามูอีลูcity จอยลู city มูอีลู street จอยลู street วันนี้กูให้ปตันเดี๋ยวกูมูโต Payne Avenue Arcade Street University Avenue จอเก๋นอนนะนี่เหรออีจอเก๋วันนี้กระดานแห้งแต่เขาแต่นี่มันนึงตุชาตุยันเตาแห้งแต่ชิมากู willing to go there because จอนตัวเขากูรู้ community and กูอยากจุดต่อมุนน้องจอ small business owners เตียแล้วเขาจอเนี่ยลิจ่าเทียแต่ชินอลาหลวงมุนิจ่าจอนนอติ้นให้หัวเราย่อยจออีกงแต่นะวันนี้แล้วเขาสาเตาเก๋ป้านเดอชงฟื้นลิจ่าso กูอยากตีทุกแคนาดาว่ามั่วเป็นสื่อยมุนจอนจะไปสิ่งนัดถ่ายนี่เนาะเจ้ากูยิ่งจังเตาหัดเดียแล้วยิ่งปอกกูจะเกยว่ากูชี้ช่อเฮงเจ้าแล้วยิ่งปอกหัดเดียกูรู้เทียเชื่อไปสิ่ง so ยอลินเนาะกูสาเดียลูกกูอีลินตูเนาะกูยิ่งอยู่ยิ่งขอแคมเปญเนาะ
头一个那个有海里家那边呢，就是让老大娃到这还做好给话有帮把那个就路狗一年多问题有老当的呢。
我之後就個做冇路時候呢，就古天，佢佢係做俾咗日子天就俾成夢一度讀話讀書咗，呢啲報道係啲，但是呢，就美 community 咯，因為炒股，呢啲報係咪㗎？啲人係呢炒股興了，但是呢，俾冇咗興了，只有呢，俾落工地，落幫把個股，落炒股個俾冇一段夢，一段日子夢了，一段菜夢，每一度讀書到，你睇你有把到。俾cho tới mình đầu tôi với cho tới mình thì sau rồi俾especially cho俾cho là luật mình đó thầu cơ nó cú sao uốn này cho uốn này uốn gì cho俾sinh nhớ rồi vào tàu chế châu hay tiền này sau cú rồi thầu lúc primary cú thế li mua khỏi yên nhớ rồi thầu lúc diễn li vấn thi chuan đó tiền sĩ俾khó hậu lựa cho sĩ tàu ta cho chúa lúc cầu ý li nữa chỉ cho nên nó cú sao thọ còn này đặc ba cú ý trong gì giờ hai tia cú uốn lo lù uốn châu thì thọ này cho huấn cho chúa tua xứ lò thọ này giả lúc gì thìแต่sĩ cú yên bao hai tia cú chỉ mua sĩ họ有một chúa chúa lên cho tụ giờ chỉ giờ hai tia tự họ lúc TV nó xứ lò này giả lúc gì thìแต่sĩ mà yên sẵn tàu này cho cái ba chơi này cho cái ba thế này cho cái lu nè chỉ tòn đây nó thọ còn này ba cú thì ý trong gì
thầu lúc cho thì vấn thi năng够bé nó chỉ early voting bí đó chỉ có final election nó chỉ cho lúc cầu ý thì vấn thi gì chỉ những sao còn này công tế số lượng số tụ công tế ba bóng ba đầu cú cho lúc xưa nữa thì còn lúc nào bé mua những bé họ make history thì bé cũng mua và ý tu hình giải mong muốn nhau đầu tiên đó và represent bé rong